now time for Big D Energy with four-time Stanley Cup champ Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neal Ruhl. Live on the Woodward Sports Network, the Woodward Sports app, and anywhere you listen to podcasts. Let's talk some sports. It's Big D Energy.
Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back, everybody. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, T-Foss, Terry Foster, Spencer Raxter in the building. And, of course, we got JB Smooth with an F on the end of it, holding it all down. Happy to have you all with us. Huge, huge night for the Detroit Pistons. They got the win. We'll be discussing it. Lots of football to get to as well. Remember, you can tap in at our woodwardsports.com chat thread that's going on. We get to them all. Good to see Detroit Dabber 313 with the What Up, Doe. He is first in this morning, but happy to have you all with us. And yes, lots of NBA stuff, some football stuff to get to. But damn it, it's a depressing day for me, even through what happened with the Pistons last night. It is snowing outside. And I hate the first one. I hate it.
Oh, that's not snow. That's just like a little dandruff, man.
A little dandruff.
That's not real snow.
It's sad, man. It's sad. That's all I'm saying.
You know what? And every year I get someone like you. Oh, God, it's snowing. I can't believe it. We live in Michigan. This is part of the process.
But it doesn't mean it doesn't still suck, Terry.
I don't see any snow on the ground, so I'm good.
It doesn't. You know what? It's the covert snow, because I know the barometric pressure this time of year as the temperature changes. I don't know if people are
You felt it in the air.
I felt it. I started feeling it when I came back from Canada this weekend and stuff, as the temperature goes up and down and the pressure. So I don't need to see snow, Neal. To me, it feels inside my body like it's snowing already.
Hey, we're not in the UP. They got 13 inches.
That's what she said.
Whoa,
what? Hey,
hello.
That's a heavyweight stick.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Tammy Chin says, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Happy to have you all with us. But it's depressing for me when it snows. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to Fort Lauderdale tomorrow night. How about that?
Oh, gee, I feel sorry for you. I thought you were going to say,
Can't take it.
I'm going to drown myself in a couple bourbon shots here.
I'll still do that.
But you're going to Fort Lauderdale, man. Don't talk to me.
In the sun? Okay, bringing the clubs or no?
No, not on this one.
Okay,
not on this one.
I feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
Are you going to be secluded in a studio? Tell us. You won't even see the sunshine.
No, I will. I will in the morning. Yeah.
I like how Neal covers the game in like Omaha, but he has to go to Florida to report it.
It's in my contract.
T-Foss, I think he might have learned that from you.
Yeah, it's in my contract. It's the Sunbelt clause.
You never made some back in your day when you traveled. You never made some connections.
If the game was in Nebraska, I was in Nebraska. The game was in Florida, I was in Florida.
I get it, but did you happen to maybe have a layover in Florida to get to Nebraska? That's all I'm saying.
Well, T-Foss, technology has changed since then.
It has changed. No, Chuck Daly used to do that.
What did he used to do?
Chuck Daly, if he liked a city, for instance, the Pistons would be on a West Coast trip, Los Angeles, Portland, Seattle. He would always stay. They would always stay the extra day in the cities that he liked.
Mm-hmm. Scotty Bowman.
And then if you're in Portland, he didn't like it. You in and out, bam.
Scotty Bowman the same way. We loved it when we always looked at the schedule, and there'd be that Arizona game on that Friday, and we didn't play on that Tuesday. So instead of like going in on Thursday, we'd practice and go out on Wednesday, so we'd have a day of golf. He always liked going over there, so we could always plan on that.
What were his cities that he liked?
He loved the Arizona, so the Phoenix, the Scottsdale, and Vancouver. Western part of Canada was always, whenever we got out west, it seemed to sneak an extra day out there. Go figure. And obviously Florida, even though Florida was in the east, we always ended up down there and snuck a game of golfing.
Yeah, that's kind of how we'll do it as well. Like a couple of years ago, we had to play at UCLA, then at Cal to start the season, but we had 3 days in between. So you stay in LA an extra couple of days, right? Like that's the way it's going to go.
What'd you shoot at Bel Air Country Club?
I didn't. I played LA. I played LA Country Club out there, where Arnold Palmer once got a 12 on the 18th hole to lose the tournament, and I got a par. So
There you go.
Unbelievable.
Transitive property.
Yeah.
I was told you're better than Arnold Palmer.
Transitive property. I'm better than Arnold Palmer.
But he makes better drinks than you do.
That's not true. That is not true. I just take the bourbon bottle and pour it in the glass.
That's fair.
No, he makes not better non-alcoholic drinks than me.
Yes.
Let's be specific.
No, absolutely. Again, no, big night for the Pistons. They get the job done. And look, we got to get into it. And we have these show sheets lined up, as you guys know. And T-Foss, this thing was chock full of Lion stuff, as it is. They're playing the Cowboys this weekend. It's the NFL. It's a big game. But you know what, damn it? The Pistons deserve their flowers.
They do.
They do. And I'm going Lions free for at least the first 30 minutes of the show. Just so you guys know. I'm not doing it. They're 1-4. They will go to the back burner.
Why don't you go Lions free the first 120 minutes of the show?
The final 120 minutes of the show?
Yes.
Now, I mean, we will, there are some things I suppose we have to get into. But we're not doing it. I'm cutting them out, D-Mac.
No, let's talk some. Winning should supersede anything else in this town, and especially when some of our young teams and with what they did opening night. For me, last night, obviously getting the win against Orlando was the way that they did it. But to me, watching and seeing the crowd, I wasn't there, but from hearing from people that were there, watching it on TV and stuff, it was electric. And it goes to show you what we have to look forward to. So people believe it. If you don't think so, then why did they show up and show out in force last night? So it was nice that the young Pistons team was able to get out there. The big key, like for me, obviously, is executing, getting the W. But man, Jalen Duren. I mean, what can you say? Just be grateful he's on your team. So, and I told you that when I talked to Earl the Twirl Curitan, who's a former Piston, and he said that at training camp and somebody that he was to keep an eye out for. So, not surprising, but at the age he is and what he done, especially the impact early in the game that he was in, it's the future.
Now, I'm in the mood to get pissed off this morning. Spencer.
Yes.
Tell me how Jalen Duren was the best center in Piston history.
And I was setting up this moment in the pre-show video. Spencer Raxter, Spenmo Rax.
Yes.
The floor is yours. As long as you want right now, give us the Jalen Duren soliloquy.
Yeah, we're obviously can spell out the entire young man's career after a 22-minute performance.
I don't see why not.
Yeah, it makes total sense to me. Jalen Duren will go down as the best center in Pistons history. Better than George Yardley. Better than Andre Drummond.
George Yardley.
Better than Bob Lanier. The man is a combination of Sean Kemp. He's a combination of Dwight Howard. You mix them into one, and you get Jalen Duren.
Now better than Ben Wallace.
Better than Ben Wallace.
Better than Bill Laimbeer.
Better than Bill Laimbeer.
Well, Bill Laimbeer was sort of a 4.
Right.
So
stretch.
Sometimes
the original
he was
stretch 4.
The one thing you can do.
I want to give some respect for the old fellas. Every time I go through here and talk to you little young Piston guys, you disparage Bob Lanier. Bob Lanier could play.
Bob Lanier was
a bad
very
man.
good. But he's not as good as Jalen Duren.
Stop it.
Man, it's in the Hall of Fame.
You know what you can do is take a 22-minute performance from an 18-year-old and bases the rest of his career off it. That's just.
I think that's fair.
That is very fair.
All right, but see, I want to defend Bob Lanier. That's why I said that.
Well, you're the only one here that's seen him play.
He had a hook shot, big butt, and he was mean. So, and Jalen Duren could become Bob Lanier light, but he can't become Bob Lanier.
I got your back, Spence. What you said is this what you're trying to say? Is that sky's the limit for this kid?
Sky is
with
the limit
potential,
for
and you get a little excited because you can't disparage the stats that have been put up, especially championships. But if he continues at this pace, if he's available, sky's the limit. I think we can agree at that.
Yeah, and you know what it was too?
Special.
Yeah, you know what it was too? It was the style of play. That is today's basketball. Mm-hmm. The athleticism from the big, when you combine the size and the athleticism that he has, and you saw him come down the lane or come down the wing, and you knew he had bad intentions,
Yes.
and would have dunked anybody's arm or anything that got in the way through the rim as well. And there's two angles. And when we come back from the break, I'll get to the other one, and I'm curious to get Terry's take on this as well. In our WoodwardSports.com chat poll right now, Spenmo just put it up there. Who's a better player, Jalen Duren or Michael Jordan? And if this isn't 50-50, at least we riot.
Yes.
I'll walk off this studio.
That is fair.
Forever.
Forever.
Spenmo and I both will
Don't
walk out of
besmirch
here.
the young man's name. He's up there with his airness.
He absolutely is, but it was a big time debut for Jalen Duren, and it goes to show you, Terry, D-Mac, the way social media was set on fire with just how starved we are, man. It keeps coming back to that. The Red Wings the other night, the Pistons tonight, even in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread, when I say, hey, we're tuning out for the Lions for 30 minutes. The first message I saw was from Joe Beerline. He said, I'll be back in 30 minutes, and with the sad emoji. But then it was followed with more Pistons. Thank you. The Lions are a dumpster fire. We're starved for it, man.
Yeah, I mean, enjoy it. I mean, enjoy the journey. Enjoy what you have. I mean, the kid's career ain't over, but this young team, it's because finally did we see opening night what we expected? Because really, weren't we all disappointed from exhibition season? Not really caring if they won or not, but the fact of putting this team together, and I think what we saw, and the way that they pulled the game out. Now, again, playing Orlando, but it's a start. So I think that's the atmosphere down there, that as this team gets better, maybe not consistently through this season, Terry, but into next season and the season after, LCA is going to continue to get full, whether it's the hockey team or the basketball team, because of the young talent, because of people getting excited for things like this, for players, you know, and the opportunity. I think everybody understands that this is building. And so why should we, the people are right, why don't we focus on the Pistons and the Wings and let the Lions earn our trust? Did we not just pretty much...
Because the Lions
Did we not just pretty much exile the Tigers
city
for most of the season? So you know what? We'll talk about them because the injuries have to be talked about. But right now, the Pistons deserve it from what they did last night. And I, sitting up here at Big D Energy on the mural, is that's Detroit. And I want to talk about the good things that are happening in this city. We always know the bad things, right? But these are some of the good things.
See, I thought you guys would be talking about Jaden Ivey. That dude is fast.
Mm-hmm.
I know
we're going to get to it. Yeah, we're going to get to
like
it.
Ridiculously
But
fast.
Spence is planting his
we
flag.
had to get the guy with the statue outside. Nobody was saying statue for Ivy. They were saying statue. Spence is saying statue for
Spence is going to commence construction on it right now.
Oh, for sure.
I believe the Alta trucks have rolled downtown. They're building the base for it.
Yeah, building it already.
And the people support you. People pleaser. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. MJ was a system player.
He was.
And if we're being honest,
Yeah.
the usage dictated those numbers.
I've never seen Michael Jordan do anything when Phil Jackson wasn't his coach.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't see Michael Jordan take 2 steps from the right wing 3-point line and then dunk someone's arm through the basket.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Facts.
Let's reverse engineer this. Let's work backwards. Let's get you updated. Here we go. WoodwardSports.com chat poll. Who's a better player, Jalen Duren or Michael Jordan? Jalen Duren, 51% of the vote, pushing 100 votes right now.
Reasonable people.
Okay.
All I wanted was the people to be honest. That's all I ever asked for.
All right, let's be careful, fellas, because I don't want this to go national and people start talking about Detroiters are rubes and goofballs.
Your eyes aren't lying to you, Terry.
He is the best player of all time.
Okay, Terry's gonna here. Let's see what Jalen Duren does when he plays against men.
He played against men last night, Terry.
Those are boys he played against last night. The men in this league are Miami, Boston, Chicago.
Well,
men.
Ironically enough, they're going to New York to play the Knicks.
Yeah.
Go Blue asked me, is that a must-win game?
It is.
Oh, here we go.
Let me see how the scores shake out tonight. We'll take a look at the playoff seeding and see how we want to maneuver this. All right, Go Blue. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
But the Knicks, Julius Randle,
Mitch
a man.
Robinson.
your guy.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Jalen Duren, I'm telling you, Jalen Duren puts Mitchell Robinson on a
30-30?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
How many jump shots did Jalen Duren hit last night?
He didn't have to.
That's right, because he wasn't playing against the men yet.
We gonna see.
Anyways, I think that has to do with tone. Or something like that to that segment. We're going to go back tone, but what is not tone is where you get your haircut. We know it. We love it. Lady Jane's haircut for men, 168 of them all throughout the country. So come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning experience and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win a down payment for your dream home. Up to $200,000. Yes, $200K towards your dream home. Get into Lady Jane's today. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Get registered. It's wicked awesome.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Thursday, October 27th, join Ermanni and Edwards with Maz live in Dearborn. Braylon will be doing meet and greets from the show at 4:30, and stick around for a trunk or treat in the Keller Williams parking lot at 6 p.m. Food trucks, costumes, and more, all from Mike Phillips and his wonderful staff at Keller Williams. Mike Phillips, game on.
Back at it. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, Terry Foster, JB.
Can I apologize to everybody
Spencer
now?
Raxter. Yes, go ahead.
I've put shade on Durham a little bit, but last night I think Orlando did start to implement the Duren rules.
I think that.
Yes.
Have you started co-writing the book, The Duren Rule?
Yes.
Okay.
I got a couple chapters done
last night. I like it. I will say this: +7, the best plus minus of anyone that played in that game yesterday. If you're into facts,
he's the best player that played in that game yesterday. That's what that means.
If you're into facts, T5. No, you know what though? Like, we're laughing about it and it's fun, and you guys are having a good time with it. But Matthew Kruger, real quick, WoodwardSports.com chat thread says, "Please walk out, don't leave, Spence, but let Neal walk." LOL. So there it is. Michael Jordan coming back, by the way, 53% of the vote. Who's a better player?
Yeah, I thought you said Michael Jordan was coming back to play. I could believe that.
I mean, with what Charlotte's dealing with, I wouldn't be surprised.
Mm-hmm. That is true. I do, like, seriously, though, with the Jalen, and we're going to get into the Jaden Ivey thing, we are. But I just want it out there, D-Mac, because this fits, and this fits what I see with Brad Holmes. We've discussed this at length with Steve Yzerman as well. Everyone go back, harken back. I tweeted this out last night. Everybody harken back to a couple nights before the draft when the trade was made with the New York Knicks to get the pick to take Jalen Duren, where cap space was weaponized. And this fits with what I'm talking about, with what Holmes is doing, with what Yzerman's doing, and certainly what we're seeing Troy Weaver doing. That's how this works, everybody. It's not a hard system to figure out. That's how this works.
So would you say, like, if we're going to take it to Spencer's how giddy he is in the Hall of Fame, but when you look at Troy Weaver, you look at him. This could be his Mo Sider to Steve Yzerman as far as the talent.
Bingo. And I didn't even think about it that way.
But as far as a guy that you went and you got, maybe it was questioned why you did that. You did that with the resources of good general managers, not only with both parts, not only the talent of the player that you believe, but also too how it works into your salary cap. And you're seeing talent. I think that's what both teams are building. To me, this is a huge check mark or a bonus or an A+ for Troy Weaver, accessing talent and putting him around. Right? What do we say? We got Cade Cunningham. Now we got to build around him. Well, with what you saw and the violence that he chose going to the rim. The way that he played was awesome. You mentioned, Terry mentioned before the break, are we going to talk about Ivey and how quick he is? Oh my gosh, dude, that is incredible for a guy who's not basketball number one. You can literally, it's like watching, somebody on the ice. It's like watching Pavel Bure back in the day, Neil. It really is, on the ice, where you think you know fast until you're out there and you see a guy go by you like that, right? So I think with the way that the rules are, it goes to show you that the bigger plan, not only with the talent that you're seeing, but also on the books, they're doing it the right way. So to me, Troy Weaver and Steve Yzerman are closer together in what they're building down at LCA. It probably makes sense because they probably have offices next to each other.
And Terry, this is what I'm talking about too. This is why, for me, the Brad Holmes and the Dan Campbell are separate entities, because I see Brad Holmes working in a similar fashion. This is a new wave of general managers that we're seeing across sports, and we've seen it. And certainly the teams that have popped up and popped off, there are qualities to it. We haven't seen this in this town before. This town hasn't been on the forefront in terms of GMs and how they operate on the cutting edge. Cap space can be weaponized, Terry. We've never seen that in this town before.
No, and like I said, Troy Weaver is playing a chess game where in the past these guys were playing checkers. But the thing with Brad Holmes that hurts him is he's trying to build a city that the base is on quicksand. They don't have a history of winning. They don't have a history of championships. The Pistons and the Red Wings do, so they have a more solid foundation. So they can do the same things, and it's going to work. And for Brad Holmes, it may not work because, you're putting that building on quicksand. It's going to sink a little bit.
But the same principles are in play.
It is the same principle, but it won't work as quickly for Brad Holmes because he's trying to turn around a bullshit organization.
Right. Well, and again, too, going back to it, Weaver is a couple more exits down the highway. He had to do the financial flushing. They're still doing it this year. There's still $20 million in dead money because of the Kemba Walker thing to get the Jalen Duren draft pick. It's something where it's the exact same framework that's being put in place.
But here's the difference. When you see return of what you did immediately, sort of what we've heard and now what we're seeing, it's a lot easier to fathom. Oh, who cares? $20 million on the cap might as be $60 million. It doesn't matter. The move that was made is going to make your team better, right? As fans, I think it's not as imperative. To Terry's point, to me what it shows is really I wasn't truthful with myself as how bad comparatively this Lions organization from the ground floor up, like he said, building it on quicksand, it is. You're in such a bad spot because you look at, even though Steve Yzerman with the Wings and Troy Weaver with the Pistons have had hurdles to overcome in their salary cap, they're getting ahead of it. They're making progress. Right now, it feels with the Lions, we're still spinning our tires.
No, but there's a mentality. With the Red Wings and the Pistons, you know what they're thinking? They're thinking championships. The Lions are thinking, we want to win some games and try to get above 500. So they're not even thinking championships yet. So that's why the Wings and the Pistons are so far ahead of them.
Well, and they've had more time. Like, they're further along. It is. I mean, that's just a factual statement. They are further down the highway.
That is true. But from day one, the Wings and the Pistons didn't get into a rebuild to be competitive. They got in it on day one to win championships at some point.
I think the minute Troy Weaver stepped in and the minute Steve Yzerman stepped in, championships was the end goal. That's what Terry's saying.
Right, but they also had to address the financial situations.
Oh, here we go again. Money.
That's what it is, Terry. I'm sorry, man, but that's the reality. When Steve Yzerman walks in here and Franz Nielsen's making $6 million still, and Danny DeKeyser's making $2 million, he had to deal with it.
Can you get your nose out of the money for 1 second?
No, because it's what matters, Terry. How is Jalen Duren here? How is he here? Why is he here? Why? Because you had a GM that had the foresight to weaponize cap space, take on a dead contract, and get a draft pick for it, and take advantage of the Knicks.
Winning championships. If he was thinking like the Lions, even with they wouldn't have done something like this because they would not have thought about something like this.
No, see, I think Brad Holmes does think like that. I think he does think like that, which is why you saw Trey Flowers and Jamie Collins get shipped out of town. Now they're paying for it with the $18.5-ish million. There are similar qualities to what the GM. I'm not talking about the coaches, everybody. Calm down. I'm talking about the GMs. That's why I'm on board with it. That's why I'm on board with what Troy Weaver was doing. Spenmo Rax was over there on draft night. He knew. He's a Knicks fan, and he knew.
Oh, yeah.
He knew they were getting taken.
Every time.
You knew they were getting taken.
Every year.
Because the Knicks, fell for that little taste, that little forbidden fruit, where they said, hey, we can go out in free agency and overpay a mid-free agent, and we can trade one of these draft picks to get the cap space to do it. And Troy Weaver was like, hey, we're not ready to ride yet.
Yeah.
We'll eat that $9 million Kemba Walker contract. Give us that number 11 pick. They're like, okay, cool, here you go. That's the difference. That's how you win. That little line right there. That's why. That's why Troy Weaver's great at his job.
And did you see the way Troy Weaver was sitting last night? He wasn't sitting in the seat. He looked like he was sitting on the Iron Throne. Like, this is what I've been doing. Look, y'all see what I've been trying to do the last couple of years? Now you're seeing it tonight. He
was
looked like the king.
As he should be. Weren't you proud to be a Pistons fan last night? The way that they came out, how hard they played, the way they pulled it out at the end, and just the way that game went shows you that their maturity to Dwayne Casey, to what Troy Weaver. But to your point, Terry, when you saw him, that was proud Papa. But the work has been done.
I'm not going to say they're mature because they did something last night that bugged the hell out of me.
Yeah, and look. We've sang the praises. We know that Jalen Duren is the best player in the history of the NBA. Getting a lot of WoodwardSports.com chat messages. Kobe Bryant was a system player. That's fair. Fair. Usage.
It's fair.
Can we talk about the efficiency of Jalen Duren? Can we talk about that for a couple minutes? Extrapolate those numbers over a 48-minute game and see what you get. He was, 14 and 10 last night in 22 minutes?
14 and 11.
14 and 11.
And 3 blocks.
So he's a 28 and 22 average, 28, 22 and 6 average guy.
Well, it's easy for him to do that because he's not being asked to be the man like Kate Cunningham is.
Terry, this is math.
We're
dealing in absolutes.
Fuzzy numbers.
We're dealing in absolutes. Spenmo?
Yeah.
Stop it.
Stop
it.
DMAC, Minister of Accountability.
I'm letting you guys have your fun after the first win, right? When Terry stands up and gets really upset, I'm going to put a stop to it.
All right, and then I'm going to tell you about Cintron. It's the official energy drink of the Detroit Red Wings. Cintron's combined all 3 of their delicious flavors into a limited edition 6-pack sampler box. So you know what? Why wait? Go to CintronWorld.com/Red Wings. Get your Red Wings themed 6-pack sampler box. Hey, you can taste the cranberry, classic, and the sugar-free all in one package. Okay. Get energized with Cintron, and let's go Red Wings.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward.
All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports.
Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the Odds Trader Bet Tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to Odds Trader, and best of luck.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
Neal Ruhl here for Custom Health Centers. Look, summer's over. Just look outside. It's snowing. So I think it's safe to say it's over. But did summer leave you feeling a little chubby? Custom Health Centers can take the willpower out of weight loss. Whether you need to lose 20 or 120, Custom Health Centers will help you do it quickly and safely. Go to customhealthcenters.com or give them a call, 844-789-THIN. That's 844-789-8446. Off and running, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, D-Mac, Terry Foster, Spencer Raxter in the building, JB Smooth with an F as well. Happy you are with us, woodwardsports.com chat thread. Noah Juddis says that Jeremy Grant trade looks amazing. 2025 first, 2025 second, 2026 second. Building long term here. No, I haven't seen you in there before. Welcome to the show. Appreciate you checking it out and tapping in with us. And we're having our fun and everything with Jalen Duren. I think they're going to have a Jalen Duren number retirement ceremony at the next home game.
Yeah, bobbleheads too.
They're going to retire his number, I think, at the next home game. I think that's fair. I think that's justified.
I'm in favor of it.
Okay. And we're having a good time and it's fun and all that stuff. There were some things, that were a bit concerning. I mean, nothing that's not always associated with a very, very young team, by the way. And I think it was Chuck Brewer earlier that said, we think of young guys in the NBA of 25 and under. This whole team's average age is under 25. That's with Bojan on the floor. But Terry, you said that there was something that kind of perturbed you last night.
Yeah, finish games. Get the game out the way. When the Pistons were up 5, 6, or whatever, and it's like 2.5 minutes left, they're still dribbling to double teams, getting trapped underneath. Instead of pulling the ball out, finish the game. Let the clock run and go home. They almost lost that game because they're still clowning around, doing stupid stuff with like under 2 minutes left. Once you get it done, and I understand that, you want to keep somebody's foot on their neck until it's not necessary anymore. And I thought the only way the Pistons could have lost last night with 2.5 minutes left was clowning around and giving Orlando too many possessions. When you get to 2.5 minutes, the other team should only have like 3 possessions. I think Orlando had 7 or 8. So they could have overcome that 6-point lead. And I understand that's maturity. That's the maturity part that the Pistons are going to have to learn. But it bugged me. I'm like, dudes, let the clock run. What are you doing? That's the only thing that I'm like, are you kidding me?
D-Mac, how do you balance the excitement when you have a roster full of 20, 21-year-olds, 20-year-olds? How do you – because you can speak to this. I would imagine D-Mac at 23 in the NHL was different than D-Mac at 29 in the NHL. A little bit different for you because of the surroundings you were in.
So, again, where it comes back to is coaching. And it's putting in this position. And a lot of times you have to go through this position. So today at practice, Terry, I'm sure Dwayne Casey is hammering down the same thing that you're saying. With 2.5 minutes left, we got to finish these games out as far as possession, but that's a learned skill. So the excitement and whatever, it's the job of the coach and the coaching staff to understand and put these guys in that position to realize what it was. It could be excitement, it could be, wanting to do it, but usually with a younger team, no matter what it is, they don't have the luxury of turning it on and turning it off, or I guess reserving energy or sitting back or whatever like this. So they got to continue to play and execute. And to me, this is a Dwayne Casey thing. So you're going to get away with it. You know, you see these things, but it's the next time that we see it, Terry, where they're in that position, do they show you something different where they do finish the game off? And that, to me, is straight to coaching.
Yeah, and my thing that was concerning to me, and Spenmo, Rax, and I were talking about this, is there were some lineups out there that are going to be challenged on the defensive end.
To put it lightly.
You like that? I do words for a living, Spence.
That was good.
No, but I mean, one that you brought up as well. We saw a couple of combinations out there, Spence, that were pretty rough defense, and that's going to be the way that it works.
Yeah, it is, and without Marvin Bagley, who is a guy that he's not the best defender, but he puts size out there and he helps protect the rim with his athleticism. You're gonna need Jalen Duren to play. You can't ask the guy to play 35 minutes every night. So that's why I'd like to see Nerlens Noel out there a little bit more. Obviously, we're missing Isaiah Livers. He's probably, outside of Killian, our best perimeter defender. So when he comes back, that'll add a little bit more defense. But when you have, like you said, Saddiq Bey, Bojan Bogdanović, and Isaiah Stewart trying to guard Wendell Carter and Paolo Banchero.
That's not a winning matchup.
That is not a winning matchup. And going up in our next game, if we have Bojan Bogdanović, everything he did great on the offensive end, hitting 6 threes, leading the game in scoring, trying to guard Julius Randle, it's not going to end too well. I'll just say that.
Don't tell that to Terry. He hates math.
No. Here's what Terry wants. Bogdanović, keep your gumpy ass out of the paint trying to score. You were brought here to shoot. Shoot the ball, call it a day. We'll see you next time.
Rack says, my only complaint about the finish last night was Paolo had 5 fouls. Cade needs to go to the basket and command that foul. Get Paolo out of the game. Can't be relying on Stewart to hit that shot.
That's a good point.
And that,
I think that's
is
all
fair.
part of Terry finishing the game. With the 2.5, that's all part of it. Recognizing situational basketball, what you're up against with that. I see some comments too about, did you guys think that maybe the refs were a little hard on Cade last night, or was it a consistent game? Did you have anything? Did the refs come to mind?
No, not really to me.
Not me either. I think that point that Rake brings up is more to Terry's about. That's what Dwayne Casey and the coaching staff about finishing the game, because it can make it easier on themselves, whether it's keeping the possessions or seeing what's at hand. The Bogdanović or Bojan, isn't he everything that you thought he'd be? I mean, he can't play D for a lick, but he's not here for D, but he's here for 6 for 10 and 26 points to lead. To Terry's point, stand out in the corner or do wherever you want to go, bro. That's because if you just keep hitting those shots, I don't care
where you
defense.
are. Just be outside the 3-point line.
Right, and then whatever you do on defense, that's the rest of the team picks it up.
And late in the game, even he drove into the paint and got trapped. He's a vet. He should know better. So obviously a message didn't get through, and I do blame Dwayne Casey for this. Dwayne Casey said, okay, fellas, we proved our point. We got 2.5 minutes left or 2 minutes left. Let's run some clock.
I will say this, too, about Dwayne Casey. That bucket that Ivey got, the first basket of the game for the Pistons, that play he drew up, that play was witchcraft.
Nice. That was real nice.
That was absolute witchcraft. And that, with that explosion from Ivey to be able to get to that spot on the cut, like, that's what I'm talking about. In order to open up everything from a coaching perspective, you need some thoroughbreds out there, man.
He's got them now.
Yeah, absolutely, he does. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Detroit French says, looking forward to see the Pistons come to play in Paris in January. I can't wait. People watching us in France, huh? All right.
Yeah.
Let's go.
5 hours ahead, too.
Yeah. All right, let's go, man. Yeah, I enjoy that. Lane
I had
Hartman.
escargot the other week, so.
Smashing it?
Escargot.
So good.
Escargot.
On a Monday?
Clausen Steakhouse.
On a Monday? Clausen Steak. Oh, those are great, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Can't go wrong there.
Elaine Hartman, WoodwardSports.com chat thread. It's going to be an up and down Piston season, but man, it's going to be a lot of fun moments. That's the thing, D-Mac. Last night, they were fun to watch. And yes, they are. They're going to struggle. And T-Foss, you and I talked about this yesterday to a degree. I do see shades of that early 80s Pistons team out there where they're not going to make a ton of stops defensively, but damn it, they're fun. They are fun. They're fun to watch.
Yeah, we forget the early 80s Pistons teams were not great defensively.
No, every game was 140, 130.
Right. And then they had a 180 game.
Denver Nuggets.
But then when they learned to play defense, they became better as a team.
Sure.
And this team is not a great defensive team, but it's something they will learn.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with the whistles at all because you had Suggs foul out of that game. You had Banchero with 5 fouls, and you know how this stuff works, D-Mac. When Orlando has that type of situation, you're not getting every single call.
You're not.
It's
in every sport, and it's not. You don't want to even up, but you just want something where at the end of the day when you watch a game, you don't want to bring up the refs or you say were the refs a part of it. No. So it was fair in both points. I just think that to the point that Terry made, it's they got to get better. They're off. So the nice thing is that there's sports that are enjoyable to watch, right? Whether the Wings or whatever. It's just like it's more apparent that the clock that I have, it's just this year for our teams, and especially at LCA with the Pistons and the Wings, you hear a lot of what that comment was is that, you know what, they might have a little bit of trouble playing defense, but they're enjoyable to play. There's some offense. What do we hear out of the Wings? New coach comes in, we got to lock it down defensively. 1-1-3. Penalty kills got to get better. The Pistons are a little bit behind the Red Wings. That'll be the next task at hand for Dwayne Casey. But I think the fact that we have that excitement on the offense brings the people to the yard.
It does. No, it does.
Can we stop with the refs? I am so sick and tired of this town. Every time, I mean, Atlanta's 2 of their best players damn near fouled out.
You never see that in the league.
Right.
You get 1, but you never see 2 in trouble like that.
No Piston was really in deep foul trouble. We're still going to bitch about the refs. Stop it. We are so damn small town sometimes about that. Things don't go crazy. The refs. I'm so sick and tired of that.
The GOAT, Jalen Duren, 0 fouls. Just saying.
Damn.
Well, he's already commanding the officials.
Yeah.
There's a different set of rules for Jalen Duren out there. When you're one of the best in the history of the league, did Wayne Gretzky get calls, D-Mac? Of course Wayne Gretzky got calls. That's just the way that it works.
And I swear last night, they called Durham for a foul, and he said, I didn't touch him.
Yep.
And they rescinded it.
They changed.
So thanks for being honest.
No, he did. And because that's the way it works when you're goated like that, man. It's a lot like Guardian Alarm.
Absolutely, and we know Guardian Alarm is your perfect security expert right now. It's the perfect time to make sure you have peace of mind in home security from Guardian Alarm, the most trusted name in home and business security. 24/7 monitoring give you peace of mind knowing that you're being backed by the best in the security business. So I need you to give them a call today to be part of the Big D Energy family. That's 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
Like I said, Guardian Alarm, your local security experts. Unfortunately, no Sam Flannel, no Flannel Day, but we got JV Smooth, number 1 in the box. There it is. Give them a call. 1-800.
Stay out.
Absolutely. Guardian Alarm, local security experts on Big D Energy. We sent you.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you want to know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You can get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Woodward front row. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, win front row tickets to see the Detroit Lions versus the Green Bay Packers. So, to enter, record a video doing your best Dan Campbell. Hey, man. Come on, man. We got this, man. Dan Campbell impression. Post on IG or Twitter with hashtag Woodward front row. Make sure you're following Woodward Sports. We will select 3 winners, and they will get 2 tickets each to sit in the front row. The winners will be announced November the 4th, so make sure you enter today, man.
Why wait? Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster, D-Mac, Darren McCarty here in the house. Happy you all are with us. WoodwardSports.com, chat, thread, and feel free to tap in there. 313-Lock says Ivey's a bucket, and Jaden Ivey was a bucket last night. Now, he's not a 53% shooter. He's not. Like, when it's all said and done, it won't be that. But I don't even care about that. It is everything that they talked about. And on the NBA floor, in the NBA game, we were talking about thoroughbreds. He's a thoroughbred athlete. Like, dudes are different. D-Mac talked about it. Like, you think you see fast, or you think you know fast, and then Pavel Bure skates by, and you're like, damn. Jaden Ivey had that damn factor.
Well, you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of, holy cow, the Pistons got the flash where the Red Wings got the Soderblom in the size. Like, we got the new,
roles reversed a little.
The 6'9" guy with the wings, and you got the super fast guy. Like, that's what it reminded me of. I wondered, that's why I wanted to ask the basketball people, am I seeing it correctly? Because it's out of place. You don't see it as much, right?
Your eyes are working. In fact, I was thinking of a movie that I hate when I saw Ivey play, The Fast and the Furious.
Wow.
That's just, he's fast, and he's ferocious when he's going to the basket, too. Sometimes too ferocious, but he's ferocious.
I'm Salty says Ivey has to worry about his body lasting all season running like that. And we were talking about that in the pre-show. Is he was going so fast that I think the finish rate at the rim was a little compromised. I'd like to see that tick up a couple.
He slowed it down a little bit later in the game once he got to the bucket.
Right. No, he did, and that's cool. It's just you're not going to rely on him shooting 53% from the floor.
No,
that's not going to happen.
That's nobody unless you're 6'10" inside.
Unless you're George Mikan, or George Yardley.
But won't that speed create volume? Right? It almost like that speed creates volume of shot where you don't need it. Sort of like Andre Drummond used to have 5 rebounds on one shot.
But here's what's going to happen: they're going to say, "This dude is so fast, I can't catch him." They're just going to shove his little ass down. I said, forget it. I can't catch it, so bam. He's gonna start getting shoves, even though the NBA is softer than it was a few years ago. But somebody's still gonna say, okay, this dude is so fast. The only thing I can do is just bam, get your ass out of here.
But it was nice though, having the tools out there, seeing exactly what the skill set was. And you want to know? And last point about the Pistons last night. And look. This team is so young, as we talked about. There will be some 30-point beatings on the road. Terry, that's this league.
Bam.
It's going to happen. And you're going to come out, and you're going to be down 30-12, and it's going to be a wrap. And it'll happen on the road. It will. But last night was a lot of fun. Here's the other part of it. Bogdanović, man, I hadn't realized how long it's been since we had a shooter. And I'm not talking about, like, a good shooter, like a good shooter. I'm talking about a professional, elite NBA. He's elite.
If he's open, it's in.
It's in. Like D-Mac, that like guys in the slot in hockey, if you leave them unchecked, they're scoring, period. That's Bogdanović.
I relate it to, on the power play, the off-wing one-timer, right? The Ovechkin spot for a righty, the Stamkos spot for a righty. When that puck makes it over there and that one-timer, it's whether they hit the goalie
when you
or
see
hit the net.
When you see the pass going over there, you know it's a goal.
Well, it's just more times than not, right, than hockey. But in the basketball, if you give him an open look, he does what he's supposed to do, what we expect a professional basketball shooter to do, that a lot of times that we see them not execute. So to that point, and for you to say that, didn't Sadiq Bey set the single season Pistons record for threes last year? And in saying that, you consider him a 3-point shooter, not a professional shooter.
And that's what I'm saying.
That's what I want people to realize, is that it's the way that he gets it done. So in saying that, aren't you going to diagram plays like they did last night to put him in the best spot? So to Terry's point, just go hide somewhere behind the arc and we get you the ball.
And T-Foss, am I onto something with that? Like with Bey, obviously the 50-point games on the resume, the franchise record for single season threes, and he's good, man. He's a good player. But you covered this league for almost 10 years on a day-to-day basis. There is a difference between an elite NBA shooter, because there's only a handful of them.
Right. That, in fact, last night he had a shot at the top of the key. No one was around him. He dribbled, looked again, reset himself, and missed the shot. I was shocked.
Yeah, I was too.
How did the dude miss it? But yeah, and he's not afraid to shoot late in games too, which is going to be critical also.
Because he's seen it all, man.
Right. But isn't that the veteran that you want? Isn't this that's what I said. You're going to have, if you're going to give something up, dude, okay, the guy's a turnstile, and you're not looking at him to play D, but the things that he can bring you offensively, he did everything last night that you'd expect him to do. Isn't it, Neal? Like, you know what I'm saying?
It is.
One of you guys had the text thread about, can this guy stand in front of anybody or stop anybody? And I think I replied to, that's not his job. His job is to knock down threes.
I don't care that he is a pylon, because in the National Basketball Association, you need 1 or 2 elite skills to help your team. And if you're a bad defender, so be it.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Dr. Dirty D. Okay, Neal. Go blue. Okay. I love that you guys are on it, man. I love it. I got it. Makes me laugh.
Get dope like D-Mac.
Yeah. No, but I don't even remember what we were talking about. It doesn't matter. Like you guys. Oh yeah, Bogdanović. Here's the other thing too, guys. Like real quick. Somebody earlier asked, is it unrealistic to expect a 36 or 37 win season? I still think that's a bit aggressive. Remember, it was the Orlando Magic with Paolo Banchero, another rookie as well. I still think that's kind of getting ahead of yourself a little bit with this team. But the foundation's good. I'm not quite to the point. But what did I say about the Red Wings after watching the LA Kings game? I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good with it.
No matter what happens, the ship is still sailing. The masts they've redone the masts.
The below deck hands are doing the job.
Absolutely.
The under the surface, things are checking out.
I revert back to Vegas, right? Because what was Vegas's line win?
28.5.
29 to 29.
Okay,
I'm going to stick with my 32.
So remember how we were, or Vegas was really on as far as the Lions with the 6 wins or whatever. So you got to let it play out. It's like I say with the Red Wings, is that you can't win the division or set yourself up moving forward, but you can sure put a bullet in your head as far as your team. So we don't want the Pistons to do that, and then we'll see.
Right.
Could they, if they continue to play last night, if they improve some of the stuff, Terry? Yes, because they have the talent. It's just whether they come together. But, last thing is, Look who we didn't talk about this first friggin' hour when we brought up the Pistons. Name came up a couple times when no one talked about his performance, but was that not the performance we expect out of your point guard and your leader in Cade Cunningham?
Mm-hmm.
Was that not that not like because to me, yes, exhibition, maybe he hadn't hit his stride, and I wasn't really worried about it, but what I saw last night, is that the leadership that we need moving forward?
What did I tell you? What did I tell you before they won the lottery, before they drafted him? He will make the basketball play 10 times out of 10.
He makes guys around him better, the facilitator of the ball to where it is, and then if it comes down to what Terry said, that he loved that Bogdanović as a pro ain't afraid to shoot it late. You told me from when you went down to Oklahoma State and saw him play against the Grizzlies, what you noticed is this kid facilitate the ball until, I need to take over the game.
And if the matchup allowed it,
I need to be the alpha.
Yeah, and look, like, let's be real about it. I mean, he was a number 1 overall pick out there on the college floor. And when he still played the matchup game. When the matchup dictated it, he took over for a few minutes. And then when it didn't, he facilitated. Like, he just makes the basketball play every time.
Which is very important. But there are people who follow the league that believe you shouldn't make the basketball play. Like, he could have made some goofy-ass shot instead of passing it to Beef Stew. But he's taught, and it's ingrained in him, what's the right move for the team? This is what I'm going to do. But there's still that mentality. If you're the alpha dog, you're supposed to take the shot no matter if your ass is on the floor, if you're triple team, quadruple team. I don't believe in that, but there's people who believe that. But he made the right play.
Was Isaiah like that?
Yes. He would not. Isaiah went through stretches. He would just say, I'm taking this shot. I don't give a damn what the deal is. And he would not make the right basketball play sometimes. But
that was early when there were no other alternatives.
He did it late too.
To make the shot.
Right.
Does that have to do with trusting your teammates
It is.
the execution?
It's trust. When Beef Stew hadn't made a shot all game, but the Piston players know he was working on that shot all summer long. So we're going to trust that he's going to make that shot when he has to, because he's already done it probably 4,000 or 5,000 times this summer.
No, and I get it. And the other thing, too, my final point about Bogdanovic, if you are a 30-ish win team, he could be that prize for a title contender, to where they think that that's going to be the piece that puts him over the edge, and you can end up with 2 more first.
And a couple of those.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's the flexibility
to your
it.
point, what we started out this show with, as far as Troy Weaver moving up and using the cap space, this is exactly what you might look to in the future as this team
Options, D-Mac. Options. Like
Making
Steve
this team
Yzerman,
better.
if he says, hey, we want to get in the Austin Matthews thing, we can. If we want to hold out, we can. If we want to weaponize cap space, we can. We dictate what we do. Not like the Knicks, where stupidity dictates what they do, where they say, hey, we can get this mid-free agent.
Yeah.
We just got to get $12 million off the books.
The worst part is they lie to their fans every year. Yeah, we're going to go after Kyrie and Kevin Durant. Oh, we ended up with Julius Randle and Derrick Rose.
Oh, they didn't lie. They went after him. They told him to go to hell.
Yeah.
We're not coming here.
It's terrible. They do it every year.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, Neal, how can you talk about selling when you got Durham on your team?
Well, obviously you're going to consult him. Like,
future Defensive Player of the Year, MVP, Rookie of the Year.
Right.
Yeah, you'll consult him. You'll bring him in the room.
You'll be in the number 4 or 5 playoff slot.
Duren has veto power over any trade.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know, but he won't facilitate. He won't say any trade to sell is going to be okay, because he's winning a championship this year.
Well, I don't know. If you want to win a championship as far as what to do for lunch or dinner, you can go to Big Boy, get the burgers and loaded fries. It's not just a Slim Jim. It's the Big Jim. So the chili cheese is such a tease. Guess what else is new? What? It's the Bacon Blue. Upgrade the fries. What's wrong? You just going to sit there and eat plain fries?
Don't be a loser. Put it in your mouth.
Come on, guys. Upgrade them. Chili cheese fries.
Delicious.
Baked potato fries.
Orgasmic.
Nacho fries. Satisfy your taste buds at Big Boy.
Burgers and fries.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups.
Detroit fans were there.
4 World Series wins.
Detroit fans were there.
And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit.
But we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Neal Ruhl here for Chili Peppers Tanning, where you find the cleanest salons in the D with spotless, sanitized rooms and trained and certified tanning professionals. Join the Pepper Club. Get all the best deals. They'll beat the competitors' prices by at least $5. Spencer Raxter wants me to remind you, you can pick up the Australian Gold, Designer Skin, Cal Tan, and his personal favorite, the Swedish Beauty Lotions. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. That is the website. The hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest hands. They are your Vitamin D headquarters. 27 locations and more on the way. It's Chili Peppers Tanning.
Chili Peppers Tan.
Second hour of the show. Show is cooking here today. Wrapped up that Pistons discussion. They get the win. Must-win game against the New York Knicks tomorrow night on the road. Jalen Duren may demand a trade if they don't go 2-0 to start the season.
I wouldn't blame him.
So,
get me out of here.
Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster, D-Mac, JB Smooth in the place as Sam Flannel is away getting married. So he'll be back. When's he coming back? Ever?
I don't know. I think he might just be gone.
Through next week,
Do you remember when he went to Arizona and came back from his spiritual awakening as a different person?
Yeah, like he went in a teepee with peyote and came out and just murdered everybody.
But doesn't he have to get married and go on his little honeymoon?
Peyote, from what I've heard.
Is he going to go on a peyote retreat for the honeymoon as well? In Sedona or something like that?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I can't wait for the update when he comes back. I can't wait for the Sam Flannel breakdown.
Yeah, I can't either. It was nice, wasn't it? And some of you have said it, that it was nice not talking about Lions. We do got to discuss them a little bit.
I got the Dan Campbell, Sheila Ford bite.
Okay, and I know this was making the rounds in Detroit sports media yesterday. I'm curious to get these guys' take on it. But, let's hear from Dan Campbell.
She understands. She's very supportive, but she's frustrated. I mean, and she should be. I mean, we all believe we should be better than we're at. But I do know that she's all in, and I know that, she believes in what Brad and I are doing. And so, that's pretty much it.
That was Dan Campbell talking about Sheila Ford. And, I know a lot of people were making a big deal about this in the Detroit media circles about, what's in between the lines on that. And this means that Dan Campbell's guaranteed to be here after the end of the season. And T-Foss, look, man, I took a lot of heat on this for social media saying, and we did as a show, because we wanted to have the discussion, which I think it's a discussion that's worth having, that we will continue to have, especially if you roll out your 1-7. We'll continue to have that discussion. I wasn't calling for the man's job or anything yet, but it's fair to put it on the radar, I thought. And I'm not, he's going to be here. That's my impression anyway, as we sit right now.
All the time. Him and Brad Holmes are in lockstep. Him and Sheila Hamper are in lockstep. Everybody believes in him within the organization. But that's just him talking. We haven't heard from the other parties or anything. But Dan Campbell wants us to make us believe that he's doing a great job, and everybody else in the organization believes he's doing a great job. We don't know that for sure. That's just one man talking. But this is what he does. He snows us.
Are we going too deep here, D-Mac?
I think so, because guys, it's the clock more apparent than anything, because here's the biggest decision that has to be made. And I think that Terry's point is that, everybody allows Dan Campbell to talk, and nobody else. Brad Holmes doesn't talk, Sheila doesn't talk, because there's nothing to say. Because for sure he's here to the end of the season. The decision that has to be made, Neal, what happens with Ben Johnson? Because if this offense still clicks and he continues to prove, he's going to prove his value, and probably somebody's going to offer him a job, or is that...
I'm not going to worry about that ish, D-Mac, because we were having the same discussion about another coordinator about this time last year.
But what I'm saying is, I'm talking end of the season. I'm
Right.
talking 17 games, not just now. Yeah, you're talking about everything that's but I'm saying the conversation that's going to determine Dan Campbell's fate, in my opinion, more to now is what Brad Holmes is going to do about Ben, or what. I don't care what it is. That's the conversation, because are you going to make a change? Now, what it comes down to also, Terry, is who's pulling the strings. Is Brad Holmes the end-all, be-all when it comes to coaching decision as the GM? Or is it Sheila and Spielman and all that stuff, so he's sort of handcuffed? Again, all these questions are at the end of the season. What I got out of that is he ain't going. Don't look for anything to change during the season when it comes to Dan Campbell. If something changes, we haven't heard about a defensive coordinator, all this other stuff.
Right.
If there's a change
You know what?
made, it won't
I'm
be the
convinced
coach.
Brad Holmes doesn't have the power to fire Dan Campbell if he wanted to.
That's what I'm saying.
Don't tell me that, man.
I think it's true too. I'm with him on that.
No, but I'm wondering if it's true. To Terry, so tell me it's not true. Sheila, come out and say it's not true. Or
Right.
To Terry, to Terry's point, it's more we're only hearing one side of the story.
Right.
Or one side, and we're supposed to believe it, and then when you don't win, you don't have credibility. If we're sitting here at 3-2 or 2-3 or 3-4-1 or whatever like that, whatever he says, we eat, we believe. It's the way it goes.
Do you believe in Dan Campbell, Neal Ruhl?
I'm trending towards the no.
Okay. Then if you're trending towards no, then why would Sheila Hamp trend yes?
I don't know.
So we don't know, and maybe she does. So, but we don't know. We haven't heard from her, like Darren said.
My book isn't finished. You know, it's a lot like you, how you're writing the Duren rules right now. Mm-hmm. That's soon to be released on Amazon, I believe, coming by the All-Star break. You guys are doing a big promo tour at the All-Star break, right? You and Jalen Duren.
Yes.
Okay. So, for me, the Dan Campbell thing is a lot like the Duren rules, where I'm still writing the book. We're not at the end yet, but, you know,
Has anybody considered this?
We're past the acknowledgments,
Right.
I'll say that.
Remember every baseball season, and up until this season, because he started off on fire, but Miguel Cabrera, the perennial slow starter. Some guys start off slow. Dan Campbell, isn't he consistent as a head coach in starting slow, the way he did last year, and then they came around and we, saw at the end of the season. So is there hope still for him? Like,
I don't swing that way, though, D-Mac.
I'm leaning. See, that's why when I put the
It's easier when there's no pressure, because what was my constant question about Dan Campbell? When it's on the line and a playoff spot hangs in the balance, can you coach?
So my thing is,
when you're 1-8,
my point is,
who can't coach?
My point is, last year it's consistent to the slow start, and then he picked it up and improved. Is that what we're seeing here? You're going to give them to the end of the clock to figure it out. They're going to be 1-7, 2-6, 3-5, whatever it is. We're going to continue to talk about it. But what are we seeing? Because where we're leaning right now is that we know they all got to get better. He's admitted he's got to get better. Whether he can or not, we got to wait and see. Because right now he's not doing the job.
It's just, I don't want to hear that, Terry, because I thought that was the case with the Tigers. And even with hiring Scott Harris and stuff like that, I was like, okay, whatever. What have they been deficient at since Alan Trammell and Lou Whitaker? Drafting. They've been awful. The Tigers organization's been awful with drafting. And
player development,
which goes hand in hand. You draft good players, they tend to develop. It's really wild. But for me, that was, and I was kind of blasé about Scott Harris. I mean, I was pretty passive about it. I was like, okay, the baseball. Whenever a GM gets hired, the baseball people say, oh, that's a really good hire. For me, I needed to show us. I needed Rick Ross in the house. Show me how you're different, Scott Harris.
Show us.
And Rose, he came in and he gassed the scouting department leader. That's what I'm talking about.
Wow, that was great move. I mean, that should have been done a million years ago.
Right, but it wasn't. For whatever reason, it wasn't.
So way to come in and go like this with the bottom line with this line stock is,
but it was allowed to happen.
Do you think Dan Campbell's going to improve or not? And what we're all saying is no. That's where we're at. So we're in the doom instead of letting it play out. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, you're right. Something that nobody else had the balls to do, that it took Scott Harris to come in to whatever. So
All right.
if, to your point, Neal.
All right, let's look at the Lions. Have they blown out their scouting staff? No. These dudes have been there for decades.
But that's not a Dan Campbell issue. That's a Brad Holmes issue. So you can go to him on...
If he has the authority to do that.
Which is the bigger question.
Right.
My question on Dan Campbell is, do you think he's going to improve as a coach? Will he be a better coach? Do you have faith in him? And from what I'm hearing is 90% no.
David Gerald, WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Campbell has shown he can get better. Campbell hasn't shown he can get better as far as decision making in the game. That's the consensus,
I agree.
right? Because what's the number? When's it magically going to change? 20 games, 30 games, 40 games? You see what I'm saying? Like, when does it magically change? Dudes can play or they can't. Dudes can coach or they can't. Very rarely does somebody shake off a 4-20 start. Very rarely.
Very rarely does anybody go 4-20. That don't happen very often.
You know, I'm just saying, and I didn't want it to turn into that. I knew it was going to, because that's the way it always works. Because when you're not good, when you're 1-4, coming off 3-13-1, that's the way it always works. It always goes back to this, and I didn't want it, guys. Trust me when I say this. I didn't want this to go this way, but here we are, man, and we're never going to shake it. Spence could come up with the greatest ideology and the greatest lines, and we throw it on the show sheet and everything like that, and it's always going to come back to this. It is.
Because nothing changes. All right, the Tigers blew out the head scout. I mean, my man comes in, one of the first things he does. The Lions, their scouting staff stays intact year after year after year after year. Coaching staff after coaching staff after coaching staff. GM after GM after GM. Maybe you might want to look at that scouting department and say, okay, we need to do something with that.
This was my thought process behind it. Obviously,
but is it scouting with the Lions?
The Buck stops as far as the draft goes. The Buck stops with Brad Holmes. He's the one pulling the trigger. Is that fair?
I don't think that's fair.
Really?
I'm convinced that Sheila, Chris Spielman, and that little group has a lot to do with, maybe not with personnel, but they have a lot to do with the direction of the organization. Whether the coach stays or not, and
that I agree with. I'm talking about who's handing the card in on draft night.
Yeah,
I believe that's Brad Holmes.
But I also believe this: they're like a lot of times what the Fords have done is get me a quarterback, or I want a wide receiver, or I want something on offense. They dictate sometimes the direction you go in, not necessarily the player that you get. But they're saying, okay, I need a wide receiver. Get me one.
Let me tell you the direction you should go in with your game day betting activity. That's oddstrader.com, the #1 site for all of your game day bets. Play-by-play updates, those are cool. Live scores, very cool. Here's the most important thing. The best price on every game from multiple sports books. You can customize the list as well. Line it up with sites you have accounts with. And then you don't have to open and close a bunch of different apps on your phone. You look at it at oddstrader.com, boom, you act. You get the best price from every sports book right there in front of you. Don't give anything away, guys. Go to oddstrader.com right now and find your best bet.
Woodward Sports is giving you another chance to sit front row, this time at the Detroit versus Green Bay game. Think you have the best Dan Campbell impression?
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Can you say man with the best of them?
I got it. Here's what I need, man. I need you to trust me. I swear to God, I'm not a lunatic. I swear to you.
Can you say, let's go for it on 4th down?
Man, I got a plan, I swear to you. All I think about is you guys. That's all I think about, man.
Are you a master motivator?
That's all I think about is you guys.
Show us in a video. Record your best Dan Campbell impression and post the video on Twitter or Instagram. Using hashtag WoodwardFrontRow, we'll select the best 3 impersonations of Motor City Dan Campbell and send you and a guest to front row. So knock the dust off the old sweatpants, light some kneecaps, and enter today. And as always, go Lions, man!
I just need you to trust me, that's all. Please.
I don't care if I got one toe, two butt cheeks, and a rock.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Time to talk about Swiss. Not Mushroom and Swiss. Swiss Insurance Group. Did you know 1 in 6 kids will develop a medical condition that will make them uninsurable? Swiss Insurance can save you money on your auto and home, resulting in no out-of-pocket cost to insure your children. Check with Mark at Swiss Insurance and make sure your family is protected.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Terry Foster, JB Smooth with an F in for Sam Flannel's getting married, Spencer Raxter as well. Hey, Spence, come get your Brooklyn Nets, by the way. Zion's done with them.
They'll be fine.
They murdered them last night.
They'll be fine. It's just rust.
They murdered them.
At home.
Yes.
Yeah, Kyrie's not used to playing at home.
Oh, he's got to get warmed up like Dan Campbell.
Ben Simmons isn't used to playing at all.
No, and Ben Simmons is not used to taking shots either. It looks like.
How much of this can Durant take?
I don't know. Durant's soft, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him.
Oh boy! All right, but we'll talk about that one later.
Yeah, when the trade demands start again.
You guys know I use a WoodwardSports.com chat thread kind of as a tool, and I use it because what you guys are talking about, the points you guys bring up, are relevant because you guys are the audience. So it's kind of like a window in to what you guys are thinking. And Motown Cool messed around and got a segment just on this one message right here.
Motown Cool, go give it to you.
Says, he's doing what's expected. Everyone here said 5 to 7 wins. If that's what was expected, what's the problem? Is that fair?
Hey, who says he's going to get 5 to 7 wins?
Who says he's doing what's expected? I expected him to make better coaching decisions. Right, to whatever else. No, I don't think the expectations, you didn't expect it to end up this way. Why? Because early in the season, losing the games that we had them winning, even to get to 6 or 7 wins.
Yeah, the schedule gets tougher now.
What's that?
The schedule gets tougher.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Look at these next 3 games. I mean, and it is the NFL. So going into Dallas, playing Green Bay, and playing Miami, the conversation changes. I don't care if we say if they win 2 of those games. Right? You know what I mean? They do something stupid and go into Dallas off this bye week and shut everybody up and do a Lions thing and beat them. Then it changes the narrative. Every week the narrative changes, but the consistency of the Detroit Lions this year is the inefficiency in the coaching department, to my opinion.
Yeah,
where they could have won games, to be different, to make that next step.
But if they do end up there in that range, because that's what we said. We're not like Ryan Ermanni on here. We weren't proclaiming a division championship and how they were going to win 11. What's he say? 11 games, 12 games, whatever he said.
It was 10 or 11.
Yeah, 10 or whatever he said. This collective here on Big D Energy was not that. We weren't calling for that.
The chat had them going 15-2.
Well, here's the whole thing, guys. The teams that we had beat on the schedule, if you go back, right, the Jets, the Giants, Jacksonville, stuff like this, they're better than us. Their winning record proves they're better than us. So that's what I'm saying.
That's a fact.
All these things that came to fruition, there's teams out there that are getting it done that we expected to be, and we're not that.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. I wasn't gonna use this one, but let me tell you this, guys. You put the word mid in your message, you really increase the likelihood of it getting read on the show. Stephen Baffy says the NFL changes every year. D-Mac, you should know better than to circle games as wins. That would be like saying the Wings should beat the Capitals because they are a mid-team. And look, we discussed
circle
that.
game because you go into that. Want to know about professional sports, bro? Let me tell you about it. You mark games on your calendar. Hence, back when I played, you knew when you played the Colorados on the schedule. But you go in and you have expectations as a team. In the hockey world, it's 5-game increments, right? The object is to go 3-2 for the 5 to be 600 hockey team and then move on that, winning your home games and stuff. So when you look at a schedule, you do. We did it. I mean, look at how dumb this audience is as far as when we went through. You want to talk about goofing with Jalen Duren? They had him at 15-2, right? 15-2 going through the preseason record. Which, come on. Right? The reality is it's more the coaching. Obviously, is it on defense, the defensive coordinator putting our guys in the right position? Is it lack of talent, injuries? To me, it comes down to coaching. I need to see the coaching and the decisions to improve.
Damn, man, the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. How about this one, T-Foss? Honolulu Blue Sparty. If we were 2-3, y'all would be cool with it. And he's, you know what?
Yeah.
He's probably right.
Yeah, he's 100% right.
Closer to the truth.
But, T-Foss, the NFL is a bottom-line business.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be cool with it? Would you be more tolerable if they were 2-3?
I guess I would. Well, if they were 2-3 and he hadn't given a game away. So
That's
probably a little bit more. But the bottom line, they're 1-4. 1-4 and 2-3 is a whole different ballgame. It means you have no shot. You're down with the bottom feeders again. And you've been with the bottom feeders. Here's the thing that people don't realize. Lions are in last place, right? If they stay there, they will be the last place team in that division 5 straight years. And you know what? And people still cool with it. Oh, you guys are too rough on them, blah, blah. They've been in the basement for 5 with the stupid Chicago Bears in their division. That's inexcusable.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Mike G says Franz Nielsen was mid. Jack Harrington, LSU versus Ole Miss on Saturday will not be mid, which is all true.
That should be a good game.
Yeah, no, it will be. That game will be a lot of fun. Yeah, it's. I think that's accurate though. It is accurate. If they were 2-3, everything would be different, but they're not.
Well, I don't think everything would be extremely different. It would.
I think it would, D-Mac.
It'd be somewhat different if the coaching came down to they executed which game upset you that they lost the most? The Minnesota game.
Minnesota.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, the conversation would be different, but still, wouldn't it be apparent some of the miscues that we've had defensively coming off of different things? So injuries are a factor also. So, yeah, it would be different, but how much different?
Kevin Muskegon in the Woodward chat thread said Dan Campbell aspires to be mid.
he would kill to be mid. That guy's 62. Hey Neil, do you think Sheila will be calling for a pound of flesh if there is no improvement? Would you elevate BJ or DC to head coach? And we got to see how it.
Well,
if it's a Hindenburg,
can I expand that to the Ben Johnson at the end of the season? To him also means what other coaches are available, what else is out there that you could bring in to improve your team. Those are the decisions at the end of the season that have to be made in the Ben Johnson category.
Mark Walston says there are like 10 3-3 teams right now in the NFL mid. There is a lot of mid out there.
I mean, that's how the NFL works. You get 1 or 2 teams.
Hey, you know what? If the Lions were 3-3, there'd probably be a ticker tape parade.
Yeah.
We would be. I mean, I'll be honest about it. Do we? And I say the collective football community. Do we celebrate the Atlanta Falcons right now? I think they do. I think
they deserve it.
Yeah, I think the collective football community celebrates the Atlanta Falcons right now.
Yeah.
And they're mid AF.
They went out there and won games they shouldn't have.
Yeah, so I mean, you're right, Terry. Could you imagine if we were the Atlanta Falcons? I had a meltdown about it. Like, why aren't we the... When do we get to be the Atlanta Falcons?
Which is not good. But you know, if I was Ben Johnson, guess what? If Dan Campbell offered me a spot of tea, I would not drink it.
Explain.
Hold on. Because I feel the same way about shots from Post Malone.
Okay.
Now, you explain your side, and I'll explain my side.
My side is Dan Campbell could be looking at this dude as my successor. Let me give him a little tea and, put him out of his misery.
Oh, see, that's
Terry's been watching a lot of Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Yeah, see, my reasoning for why I would not take a shot from Post Malone is because of his dirty-ass hands. There's no way, like...
You're a clean freak.
No, I'm not a clean freak. Just look at his hands, though, and tell me you're comfortable with him bringing a shot over.
Well, he's not going to be my bartender.
You sure that's dirt or is it tattoos?
I think it's both.
Yes.
Oh.
It's both, D-Mac.
Okay.
There's a difference.
Maybe it's just tattoos. He could be clean.
No, he can't. Look at the man. Look at the man. Come on. Not taking a shot from Post Malone. Quentin Yearling says Lane Kiffin to the Lions would not be mid. Not you guys know.
No.
You guys know.
You would lose your mind.
Oh,
you would go,
man.
Neal. That's Neal's guy.
I love Lane Kiffin, man. Love Lane Kiffin. I liked him best at Florida
Does that
Atlantic.
help our defense?
I don't care.
Oh, guys, okay. Now you don't care. You like, putting up 40-some points and losing. Oh, we already do that.
Now,
okay.
they lose 80-75 or something like that with Lane Kiffin.
AC says Post Malone is better than Drake. That could be true, but he's not cleaner than Drake.
No, I disagree with that.
Physically.
Drake over Post Malone.
Yeah. Drake over Post Malone for sure.
Mike G says Post loves Jägermeister. No, I know he does. Like in that commercial, that's where this whole thing spawned from the NHL playoffs, where he would bring over, and he had like his dirty fingers in the shot glasses, and he brought over. You know how you do that, right? When you got like 8 shots,
right.
and like his fingers were in the shot glass. And I like having a good time, and I like drinking, Terry, as you know, and I like doing shots. It's fun. But I'm not doing shots when Post Malone had his fingers in the shot glass.
I don't blame him.
Now, Terry,
You
if it were D-Mac's fingers, yeah, I'm in. If it were Terry's fingers, I'm in. JB Smooth, yes. Spend more racks, yes. Post Malone, no.
Yeah, okay.
I'm clean.
Yeah, no.
Maybe not on a Monday night after he's done with the show.
That's fair.
Dang.
That's fair.
Maybe not then. But, I'm just saying.
I shower every day.
I would do it.
And I wash behind my ears.
But Post Malone, no, I'm not doing it. But one thing I am doing, Planet Fitness, home of the judgment-free zone, where you can work out in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere. The gym that's always been known for being clean is now cleaner than ever. Tons of equipment, a full-body workout in just 30 minutes in the 30-minute circuit, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all this for just $10 a month. Join today in club. You're going to pass a couple. Pull in the parking lot. Join there. Go to planetfitness.com. You're really motivated. On your computer. Join now. You can join us on October 26th. We'll be live at the Planet Fitness on Ryan Road in Sterling Heights. We're bringing prizes for the people. Michigan versus Michigan State tickets with a 1-year black card membership included as well. Signed Darren McCarty jersey. Will that be a Calgary Flames one or a Red Wings one, D-Mac? Whichever one you want.
Probably the Red Wings one, but I'm not against signing the Calgary one.
All right, there you go. Signed Braylon Edwards jersey. I don't know if that'll be the Cleveland Browns or the Jets. We'll see.
With
Michigan.
the Calgary jersey, you don't get the 4 cups, though.
No, you don't.
No.
You certainly don't. But, hey, come on out there anyway. We'll be out there October 26th from Planet Fitness on Ryan Road in Sterling Heights. It's Planet Fitness, Darren McCarty.
Where your fitness is essential.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
D-Mac here at Alta Uptime. It matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. It's fall. Well, actually, it feels like winter out there. Anyways, you got holes. You got a bog project coming up. Alta Rents, they got you covered. Give them a call today, 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty. We got Spencer Raxter in the building, JB Smooth with an F on the end of it. Every now and then, you get hit with a dose of reality. And the world, you know it, as you know it, comes into question. And you start to reevaluate where you are in your life. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. By the way, Go Blue says, yeah, you're going to get some kind of rabies from Post Malone's fingers. I agree. But the WoodwardSports.com chat thread message, T. Foss and D-Mac, that really was a gut punch to me, that really has me evaluating where I am at this space in my life, is brought to you by AC. So, all right, Neal. A shot brought to you by Post Malone with his fingers in the shot glass, or candy corn brought to you by Drake. Which one are you taking? And guys, the scenario, I've been given a million of these scenarios throughout my life. As my hatred for candy corn is well known. Certainly this is a big time for it around the Halloween. I've always denied the candy corn, but in this scenario where AC says a shot brought to you by Post Malone where his fingers are in it, or candy corn brought to me by Drake, which one do you take? Guys, this is the line. This is the line. AC cracked it. I'm taking the candy corn brought to me by Drake. I am.
Smart move.
I am. I'm taking the candy corn, and I'll eat it, and I'll deal with the fallout. Gross. You know, my face will get all flushed and everything, because I did it for charity once. Raise some money for the Special Olympics.
Are you allergic to candy corn? You just hate it?
I don't. I think it's so vile that it caused a reaction in my body. Wow. I think it happens to everybody. But it's just, for me, this is the line. This is the line that I can't cross. Yes, I would take candy corn from Drake before I took a shot from Post Malone that his fingers were in. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Situation.
What's that?
It's a lose-lose situation.
Yeah, there are no winners in that scenario. There are none. There are none. Jersey talk, D-Mac. We talked about signed jerseys, right?
New Jersey?
New Jersey?
Oh, Jersey jerseys.
Replica jersey? What do we got?
Retro jerseys. I've people are up in arms, and people are happy.
I saw this. Like, Spenmo, help me out. What is the deal here with all that's going on about the retro? So what's the talk?
Adidas
D-Mac?
retro jerseys, the black and red one, red and black one, bringing it in. And I see people are either up in arms about it, or people are like me where they're excited. First of all, guys, I'm Darren McCarty. My colors are red, black, and white. Why would I not want a red and white? But I told you all along, I've always wanted a black version. I wish I could play it. I think these are fire. I think it's one of these things that, the old guys want to. The old guys, being the original six, being the Red Wings, having that traditional red and white, never going away from it, want to get into the times. They see, with something else, and I approve of it. I like the way it is. You're going to wear it a few times a year, and it puts something else in the arsenal. But I'm a big fan. I don't care. Like what you like. I like them.
I didn't even see this.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Ethan Brown says, Neal, your mom is calling you again. It must be important. That's not my phone, Ethan. All right? I just want that out there right now. And right now, Spence is in the pressure cooker because he's putting this into the system, because I haven't seen these. So everyone's just kind of staring at Spence in the room, and boom, there he is. All right. Yeah, those are mid.
Did this show the black one too? So the black, it's the opposite, black and the red.
Black and the red.
But they are what they, you know what I mean? I know what they're trying to go for. I'm sure that we all could have designed something a little bit better, but I'm not a fan. I'm more of it moving into the future and giving me an option with something with black in it that I could sort of represent that I'll see on the ice. So, hey, mid, not mid, I like.
Let's give D-Mac a little credit. He's a forward thinker.
Yeah, no, I like it. I like that D-Mac's receptive to it. That's not going to go over here.
I don't give a flying that anybody likes it or not. I like what I like. You should like what you like. If you don't like it, then don't wear it. I mean, if it bothers you that much, don't watch the game that night.
DCP1, the Red Wings have the only uniform you can't change. I would say the Tigers fall under that as well.
Yeah.
Remember when they tried that?
What are you talking about? The Tigers do the different,
they change theirs all the time.
Latina night and the Negro League stuff and all the stuff that's
and
been
they got the creeping tiger. And
no, they had the creeping tiger for about 48 seconds.
And they had the Willie Horton.
They had the cartoonish one.
Remember when they did
cocaine tiger?
Remember when they did the gas station hat English D?
Yeah.
The big. There was only $12.99 in a gas station for the big English D hat.
So my question is why? Like the evolution and what it's about getting on board, and I think it's more of try to get with the times.
People pleaser, WoodwardSports.com chat thread. It's missing the logo.
Comment?
But it's so then it doesn't infuriate. So to that point, right? It's a third jersey, and it doesn't impede on the tradition of the red and white one and whatever else, where they haven't brought the old into the new. Your red one, your white one with the wing wheel on it are still in their own OG category. This is something for the new kids that you can separate it for. This is like the Winter Classic jersey. This is like the traditional jersey when I was on the ice at the old Chicago Stadium for the last game that I have a picture of. They've always used different things like that. That one used to be white with red stripes. Now they put it red with black stripes, and it's the same one. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. They changed the colors. I'm sorry if you don't like that. But to your point, thanks for making the point that it doesn't impede on the tradition. And that's why they probably did it.
I think we need a WoodwardSports.com chat poll. Would you rock the black and red Red Wings jersey? Pretty simple. Would you rock it?
I would. I like them. The more I look at them, the more I like them.
Holy cow, does it not even just... It's just giving me so many more wardrobes.
Would you rock it, D-Mac?
I got one.
That's T-Fox.
I got a black... It's a practice jersey. The black Red Wing practice.
Well, that's what it looks like. It looks like they
I already got it.
That is T-Fox.
And my favorite Wings jersey is, like D-Mac said, I think it's the 2014 Winter Classic ones, the cream... Old English D, or the cream winged wheel with the red and cream. I think that's the coldest jersey we've ever had. But those black ones, I like the new ones.
I like the fact, to the point, I like the fact that they didn't put the wing wheel in there because then you could separate them. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, they're separated. The traditional ones don't impede on this new age 2022
You can put the wing wheel on the
version.
sleeve or something. Or just what they do in the NFL, just a little tiny
little one right there at the collar.
Right there. So, in case for the slow people who don't know, this is the Red Wings.
That's exactly what I was going to say, too. Put the little wing wheel right there on the V, but you don't have to. I mean, I kind of like it either way, regardless.
People are ready to riot, though, about the fact that there's no wing wheel. And look, it's not me. That's not my flavor. I love a good alternate jersey or a good retro jersey. I do. When they're good, I'm just not feeling this one. I don't hate if you want to rock it, rock it.
I'd rock it.
The market will dictate whether.
The more I look at it, the more I kind of like it.
Well, the problem is that old guy named Mr. Tradition. There's certain jerseys you cannot change. For instance, you could never change the helmet of the University of Michigan. You can't change the Red Wings. There's a few. I'm trying to think. You probably
the Tigers D you can't change. They tried.
They've done it though. But you know why they do this? So that the young guys will buy a jersey. All the little Woodward guys that run around here like little cockroaches, they'll buy one. And then if you change it to black, they'll change it. You change it to teal, they'll buy it. You change it to purple, they'll buy another. So they'll have 3 jerseys. That's why they do stuff like that.
What marketing? Oh, okay.
What did you call them? The little Pistons kids?
Little Piston kids, like little cockroaches.
Little Piston kids, cockroaches, same thing.
Oh my gosh,
they're so excited today.
Hey, let me tell you about somebody that knows about shirts and stuff.
Well, shirts. I mean, rivet, right, JB? Big Frog got a free Woodward Sports T-shirt. That's right, a free Woodward Sports T-shirt all month long at Big Frog in Novi. Stop in, let them know we sent you. They'll print you one up on the spot. So go to Big Frog Novi today. Get your free T-shirt and visit them online at bigfrog.com/Novi.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
For a limited time only, all new burgers and loaded fries at Big Boy. It's not a Slim Jim, it's the Big Jim. The chili cheese is such a tease. Guess what else is new? The bacon blue. How about upgrading those fries? Chili cheese fries, baked potato fries, nacho fries. What will it be? Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
My name is Lee. I've lost 35 pounds on the Custom Health Center program. So the 3 biggest benefits that I've gotten from this program has been I'm not snoring anymore, I have a lot of energy, it's great, and oh, by the way, look at this. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
Hey guys, D-Mac here, Woodward Front Row. Yeah, we've got some great entries so far. Get yours in today to win front row seats to the Detroit Lions versus Green Bay Packers. To enter, you need to record a video doing your best Dan Campbell impression, man. You post on IG or Twitter with hashtag Woodward Front Row. Make sure you're following Woodward Sports. We will select 3 winners, and they will get 2 tickets each to sit front row. Winners, they'll be announced November the 4th, so make sure you enter today.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network coming down the stretch here on a Thursday. We'll have lots of football, obviously, tomorrow. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Travis Trilla says Michigan does have the best helmet. See, I always thought Delaware had the best helmet.
They're tied.
Where Delaware's almost the same thing?
Yeah. Now, if Michigan wanted to change helmets, maybe they should go back to the leather helmet when they actually won national titles on their own.
That's hate. Not even just tone.
That's just pure
Folks,
hate.
That's called hate.
Hate.
It's a suggestion.
What I said was true.
Maybe they should go back to the times when they were the only ones giving away scholarships, too.
Out of nowhere, too, Terry.
What about 1997?
He hadn't got to anything like that. He had to make sure he looked at the clock. 20 minutes left in the show, and he had to make sure.
Right.
It's a suggestion.
Now, you know what? Neal is kind of cute. He takes little shots at Michigan. He says, "What are you talking about, guys? I just stated facts."
Have they won a national title since the times of World Wars?
That was a full national championship. Nebraska lost the game that year.
Oh, because when I look at it, they both got one.
I know that's
so
what
that
they
makes
said.
it a half.
But
when you have one of something and 2 people get it, they each get a half.
Nebraska lost the game that year, and the coaches are trying to hook up Tom Osborne because that was their boy.
Okay, well, however it went down, that's the way it went down.
I think in the time of World Wars.
Were there not World Wars in the 40s?
Yes, there were. Benny, tone.
Yeah, it's tone.
Right?
No, that's not tone.
It's great tone, bro. It's great. It's like he's like the Red Bear.
Oh, for sure.
Fighter pilot. Dude, if he tips out winning, he did it on purpose. Don't let him fool you.
All right, here I got one. When did Michigan State win the national title?
In the 60s.
Yeah, when they were sicking attack dogs on black people. So that's how far back that goes.
Again, look at just stick to Big D Energy.
At least black people could play back.
Michigan State was the first team to integrate their football team, and they went down there and they clapped Notre Dame.
Yes.
First game, it was Michigan State versus Notre Dame. Notre Dame was ranked #1 in the country. Michigan State was the first team to allow black people to play, and they went there and they smacked Notre Dame around.
That's facts.
Yeah.
That
is true.
Nothing tone about that. No, it's I like it. It's fun, guys. It's fun. We're having fun with it. They did win a lot when there were leather helmets and no scholarships for everybody else, and no black players and stuff like that.
And you know who they played? Alma. They play Alma. They play
Farming.
No. Wait a minute. I think they play a school of the deaf.
Right. So it was a lot like this year.
Right. They're going after your Michigan. I'm trying to say.
The schedule is pretty much the same.
Hawaii, Alma. Who can tell the difference?
A school of the deaf.
No, they did for real. Go to their yearbook. They beat a school of the deaf. They couldn't even hear. They couldn't even hear that they're getting their asses kicked by Michigan.
So it was a lot like Colorado State this year.
Right.
Okay.
I'm just stating facts, guys.
And the schedule hasn't changed all that much. We get it.
Me and my partner, Neal P.
I can't even fight him on this one. That's true.
Hey, whatever for your narrative, PFF, as long as the truth is in there somewhere.
Mike G says Neil Valenti is mid. No, I deal in fact. I don't give opinions. Like that, it's just fact. Hey, we're having laughs and everything like that. Go Blue! Didn't they beat OSU last year? Yes, it was about. They beat them about as much as comets come around in the sky.
Finally.
Anyway, this isn't a joking thing. I did want to get to this. A lot of people have heard the news. If you have not, Jakub Vrána expect to miss some time for personal issues for the Red Wings, and my understanding is he went into the NHL's program, right, D-Mac?
Substance abuse and mental health program, which I'm very familiar with. If you don't know, I have 4 cups and 4 rehabs. So, I mean, it's the bottom line is what was released by the team and everything else is that, things are being taken care of, and that's no further comment. So we're going to leave that as far as comment, because it doesn't matter what it is. It could be the worst thing in the world that you think about. What's the worst thing in the world? He's got this sort of addiction. Or maybe it's the softest thing to people that it's a mental health thing. Who knows? It's irrelevant. The fact is, I'm proud of the kid. I'm proud of the organization to get out in front of it, right? Forget the fact of the availability, the injury, whatever this is. So he's injured in himself and personally, and he's got to get it taken care of. So first of all, I'm proud of him. This makes me proud to be a Detroit Red Wing, and the fact is that we'll let it play out in the wash. It's just like everybody knows. So it's like I told Drake yesterday. Well, we all know that this is my expertise area. So whatever needs to be done and moving forward to help. But right now, let's just give them love and prayers. We've been through this. I think that in today's day and age, where mental health is, where addiction is, where we can all relate, and we just be proud that he's getting it taken care of, because the sooner he gets it taken care of, the sooner that he deals with what he needs to deal with, that means he'll be back on the ice. And trust me, if it's mental, if it's a physical, if it's an addiction thing, when you get to communicate and talk about it and he's lost sort of himself, so when he gets to find himself, and I always say don't lie to the person in the mirror, when he starts being honest with that person again, then he'll benefit this hockey club. We've seen. So for whatever reason, if you need help, you got to go out and you ask. I think this is a great thing. The one thing that I will say is the NHL substance abuse, when they do a great job. Whether it's Dr. Shaw or Dan Cronin or Dr. Lewis or whatever, I have great relationships with them, and not always see eye to eye with them. But at the end of the day, I'm here today. And a big reason is because of the support of the substance abuse policy. Now, it's the same thing as that I always wish there'd be more. But in this case right now, everything's getting done. I would assume that needs to get done. And he just needs to know that he's loved, he's supported. I mean, if there is an organization that understands mental health and addiction, it is the Red Wings. Steve Yzerman, let me just say it there, is one of the most influential people in my life. As far as being a human being. So the fact that the human side of it is being nurtured, and you got to remember, man, Stevie rode shotgun, watching Proby, and that's why I know that in the whole scheme of things, in the bigger picture, that my sobriety and everything else is an example, but these guys have always stood behind me. So that's the one thing, as proud as the organization, that things happen. People fall down. We're going to pick you right back up, but you have to do the work. That's the bottom.
That's the end of the story.
Here's the thing: I can't do the work for you, and I can't face there. But you want to do the work, we'll support you 1,000,000%.
Here's what I'm curious about.
Love you, D-Mac.
What's the best way for a teammate to treat this? Do you check in on him now and then? Hey, is everything okay? What's going on? Or do you just let him have his space?
Well, there's a certain way. So let me break it down. So what's probably going to happen is he won't have communication for the next 30 days, right? Because he's going to go into the program, where he goes, whether it's out to California or Minnesota or wherever the facility, so he doesn't have to worry about it. What it is, and I'm sure that from his close friends, is that take the time that you need, right? We'll be ready. What his teammates can do in the meantime is not let the 30 goals, the 35 goals out of the lineup, somebody step up and take care of, by committee, right? The question that I see is, yes, the Wings have enough depth to get through the Bertuzzi-Vrána missing time, right? They got to do it by committee. So as a teammate, it's just you sort of check in. But right now, if this is going on, the guys that are closest to him, this isn't like happened last night. This has been something and we saw over the weekend, right? So it's just gotten to this point where now it's being taken care of, and he's put forth to do whatever it is, work that he needs to be done. And in the long, and be grateful. Let's look at it like selfishly from my fandom for the Red Wings. Perfect time to go get your stuff together, kid, and how it can reinforce you. I mean, I did. My first stint was Henry Ford outpatient in '96, the year before we won the Cup. So maybe he gets clean and he's on the same path, but he's going to be better. And not only he's going to be as talented as a hockey player, we see that, but he's going to be better to know himself and as a human being, and that's all we can hope for any one of our athletes, any one of our fans, and anybody out there.
I think it's a good time to remind you all, too, about the sports marketing agency. They help spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast is called This is the S Word, and it's addressing the stigma, some of the stuff we're talking about right now, about getting mental help. If you're struggling, or if you know someone that's struggling, go to thesportsma.com. Again, thesportsma.com, the sports marketing agency. They are here to help.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Woodward Sports is giving you another chance to sit front row, this time at the Detroit versus Green Bay game. Think you have the best Dan Campbell impression?
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Can you say man with the best of them?
I got it. Here's what I need, man. I need you to trust me. I swear to God, I'm not a lunatic. I swear to you.
Can you say, let's go for it on 4th down?
Man, I got a plan, I swear to you. All I think about is you guys. That's all I think about, man.
Are you a master motivator?
That's all I think about is you guys.
Show us in a video. Record your best Dan Campbell impression and post the video on Twitter or Instagram using hashtag #WoodwardFrontRow. We'll select the best 3 impersonations of Motor City Dan Campbell and send you and a guest front row. So knock the dust off the old sweatpants, light some kneecaps, and enter today. And as always, go Lions, man.
I just need you to trust me. That's all. Please.
I don't care if I got one toe, 2 butt cheeks, and a rock.
What's going on, everybody? It's Spencer for the Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck. You know what, you've heard of it. It's the home of the original football bowling pin game called Foaling. 2 different ways you can play. They've got $12 open unlimited play as well as private lane reservation for $120 if you get thirsty. They have a $2 mystery beer vending machine and multiple fully loaded bars if you want to make a decision. So go check them out in Hamtramck or visit them online at bowlingwarehouse.com.
Final segment of the show on a Thursday. Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, T. Foss, Terry Foster, Spencer Raxter, JB Smooth with an F on the end of it. Happy you all are with us. Get involved with WoodwardSports.com chat thread. And the away fan says, I want Vrána to be a good person, comfortable and happy with himself. Sports are nice, but I want him to feel better. D-Mac got through it, and look at him now. And D-Mac, it's kind of like you said too, with all of this, whatever the issue is, and we don't know what it doesn't matter what the issue is. The moral of the story, there just comes a point where you look up and you say, all right, that's it. I'm tired of feeling like this, man. I'm not going to feel like this anymore.
Sick and tired, and everybody might think, oh, look at your paycheck. Look at this. You got that. What do you got to worry about? We're human beings. And the fact that you get in front of it Yeah, and seriously, write some stuff like that in the chat, and you're lucky I don't come and find you. It's nothing to joke about. And so save it for somebody else. And, so watcher, I don't care if you ever watch again. This is life and death, and this is what people deal with in reality. And if you don't understand, what you should take from this is like, oh my God, the guy that I want to score 40 goals and do it, that should have everything together, doesn't. But he's being responsible and being an adult and stepping out and saying, I do have a problem. So maybe it's an example for somebody that need to look in the mirror or pull the thumb instead of point the finger. I don't know. Do you, boo. I got time. I got to do me. So I'm just proud of them and proud to anybody out there that takes charge in their life when they're not happy with what's going on. Because you know what, when you start looking into yourself, Neal, and you can relate to this too, that what can you do to make a difference instead of blaming everybody else? You know what, then you'll be winning in life.
Yeah, well, the opportunity here is because he's a higher profile person, is that people who are struggling with things in everyday life can look at this and maybe garner some lessons from this on how to help themselves.
How about this, guys? Did you ever think that if he gets himself right and he's right in his own head and he's even better, that his talent, that maybe we could be talking about a 50-goal scorer? Oh, I don't know. Maybe. Like, that's what I'm saying, is that get the kid right. He's like what I said before, is that anybody who's on this roster that has a natural ability to score goals that's going to be your 35, 40-goal scorer, it's this kid. Get him right. Get him in the shop. Get under the hood, get everything taken care of, and have him with full confidence and being a leader. I'm in for it. Now's the time. So,
yeah, and hopefully, like D-Mac said, once he gets through this, and then you'll get some of you people that are like that way, then you'll get what you want. Maybe a better Vrána on the ice. But the moral of the story is, and we're seeing this. Look, T-Foss, we're seeing this right now with Tom Brady. I believe that in my mind, like what he's going through. It's impacting him on the football field.
Absolutely.
You'll never convince me it doesn't.
That's why I am aghast by people who said, well, Tom Brady took 10 days off. Shame on him during training camp. The guy is going through a whole lot. And I know he's Tom Brady. I know he's the GOAT and everything. But what we forget when we comment about athletes is that this is a people business. Yes, you might be mentally strong on the field and everything, but stuff happens in life that affects you, and sometimes you need to take some time off. Sometimes you need to get yourself right. Sometimes you need to disappear.
Does it not prove to you, like with Tom Brady, that he's the GOAT, but the GOAT comes from his own system, and that's his support system, and his wife is a huge part of that, to supporting and allowing him to strictly focus on football. So a lot of time it's a sacrifice around them, and when you don't have it, which it seems like she's not there, he doesn't have it now.
Yeah, I think he lost mama's support, and that's what's affecting him.
Yeah, so I mean, it's all different forms, man. D-Mac, as you said, like, people that fight their battles, it's all different forms of fighting that battle. There are some constants across it. There are some similarities to it. Certainly as far as getting the desired outcome, there are some similarities to how that's obtained too. But does it suck for the team? Yeah, it sucks. I mean, let's be real. It does suck for the team, but I'm sure it sucks for Vrána more. Just remember that.
It does, but in the long run, trust me, it'll be the best thing you ever did.
There you go.
The best thing you ever did, and hopefully it only takes you one, not four.
Go Blue says exactly, D-Mac. No one does things alone, and that is big fact. We don't do this show alone. We appreciate all of you tapping in.
Before you check out, will you check on that retro jersey, yes or no? Please, just...
Would you rock the black and red Red Wings jersey? 66% of you say yes. I'm not one of them, but hey, live your best life, T-Foss.
That's right.
As I always say.
Too. I'll rock one for sure.
There you go. All right. For D-Mac, for Terry Foster, for JB Smoof with an F, and for Spenmo Reds. No, he's cooler than a V.
Nah, V is cooler than the F.
No,
dude.
The F, it's the coolest.
V's taken. Use a double F.
Thanks for tapping in. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.